Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story I want to talk about today, the latest physique update of Brett Wilkin posted by his coach Matt Jansen at a little under 3 weeks out from the Arnold Classic. I think this is one of the best physique updates that we've seen of Brett up until this point. He looks extremely impressive. He looks like he's added a significant amount of size compared to the physique that he brought at the Chicago Pro, where he was runner-up to Hunter Labrada. And I think he is a real threat in this Arnold Classic lineup. A wild card, a dark horse, whatever you want to call it, and I've been saying that pretty much the entirety of the build-up to the Arnold Classic this year. Which is why I was confused when yesterday Brett responded to a comment about me not having him in my top 6 predictions for the Arnold Classic, and he says, yeah, Nick Strength and Power isn't a fan of me. We will show him soon enough. Thanks, man. So, I want to clear that up right here. I am a fan of Brett Wilkin. I'm a fan of his physique, and I thought that was crystal clear because over the past several weeks, I've been hyping up Brett a lot. I've been talking about him in a lot of videos, more so than other guys in the lineup that are more experienced than him, have done more shows than him, and won shows. And I've been talking about Brett more than some of those guys. I actually don't think I've ever said one negative word or any critique of Brett any of the times that I've talked about him. So I don't know why he would be under the impression that I don't like him. So I want to clear that up, that I do. And as far as him not being in my top 6, in my full predictions, I have Brett in 7th, which I still think would be a really good placing for Brett. The guys that are in my top 6 are all guys that have won a show, a major show. You look at Mr. Olympia Brandon Curry. He's who I have winning the show. William Bonac, a top 3 Olympian, an Arnold Classic champion. He's who I have in 2nd. Justin Rodriguez, who won the Indy Pro and was runner-up to Nick Walker at the New York Pro. Steve Kuklo, multiple-time Indy Pro winner. Cedric McMillan, former Arnold Classic champion. Akeem Williams, top 6 Olympian. He's won a handful of shows. So I want to clear up that the reason why I didn't have Brett in my top 6 was not because I don't like him or not because I'm a fan of him. I think predictions are supposed to be fun. You guys are supposed to disagree with me on my predictions. We're not supposed to all have the same. It's supposed to be a fun way to build up the show. But I don't know why bodybuilders take it so personally if they're not in the top 6. It's just a prediction video. But that was my rationale for my top 6. Everybody in my top 6 has won a show or been a top Olympian or been a top placer at the Arnold Classic. Brett Wilkin is the only guy in this lineup that has not won a pro show aside from Fabio, who is he's the amateur that this is his pro debut. Brett has only done one show as a men's open bodybuilder, and that was the show where, admittedly, impressively, he took 2nd to Hunter Labrada at the Chicago Pro. He moved up to open from 212. So while I think Brett will do well here, and when I say he's a wild card, that means anything could happen. He could be in the top 6. I could be wrong. I'm not saying my predictions are what's actually going to happen. That's just what I think would happen. But it's hard to predict a guy that's only done one open show that we've never seen against bodybuilders of this caliber. Most of this lineup, I don't think we've seen any of them against him. Sure, he did well at the Chicago Pro, but that's not the Arnold, the Olympia, or even the New York Pro caliber of a lineup. So a lot of people are using the logic that because he was 2nd to Hunter and Hunter was 4th at the Olympia, that means Brett can beat most of these guys. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Could he beat a lot of them? Yes. But it's tough to make a prediction when we've only seen him against other open guys on one occasion. In that one occasion, they weren't top Olympians. They weren't top Arnold Classic champions except for Hunter Labrada. So I hope a lot of you guys are right. A lot of you guys are predicting Brett in 2nd, and I think that would be an amazing result. That's just not my prediction. I'd be totally happy if Brett took 2nd. I just think it's unlikely, and that's why I said he's a wild card and a dark horse, because that could happen. But I just think it's unlikely considering the fact we haven't seen him next to these guys. Everybody looks good on their own in pictures. We haven't seen him next to the top guys, but that's what makes the Arnold so exciting, is we're going to see that in a couple of weeks. Speaking of which, now a word from our sponsors over at the Arnold Classic.
I think that every bodybuilder has something unique, especially the bodybuilders today. I mean, wow, they are big.
Now, next up in the news, in more Arnold Classic news, Urs Kalecinski. He was a top Olympian In classic physique, he placed 4th behind Breon, Terrence, and Chris. In this lineup, he's one of the favorites. A lot of people are talking about him, but we haven't seen anything in terms of physique updates, what he's looking like, his prep for this show. And he confirmed on his Instagram story today that we will not be seeing anything from him until peak week of the show, so the week of the Arnold Classic. Adding yet another layer of mystique or excitement to this show. He's a guy that could easily be top 3 here. Actually, if you look at his placing at the Olympia, you would think that would be his placing. But we haven't seen anything from him. We've seen a ton from Ramon Dino. We've seen a ton from Breon. Even a lot from Terrence Ruffin, your reigning defending champion. But nothing from Urs. So I'm excited to see what he looks like on stage if he blows everybody's minds and just comes in and dominates. I think Ramon looks improved. He looked improved at that Expo show, that Expo Pro Super show that he did after the Olympia. I think Breon looks sharper than he looked in his Olympia prep photos, more detail. I think Terrence looks way better, so I'm excited to see if the Miracle Bear, Urs Kalecinski, also improved, and if he's able to knock off Breon or knock off Ramon and possibly be top 2 here. And you can see in this story that he definitely has the death face, so it looks like he's going to be in shape. But will he have improved any body parts for this show? That's the question. Now, next up in the news, Brandon Curry slowly releasing more and more physique updates as we get closer to the big show. This time posting an abs and thighs from what looks to be the same photo shoot or video or whatever from some of these other physique updates that have been posting. It looks like he's wearing the exact same thing, the exact same hat, the exact same briefs. It really looks like it's all from the same day. So we know they're not recent, but they are from this Arnold Classic prep. So at least he's giving us something to work with to kind of judge how he's looking. And, however far away from the Arnold this was, I mean, he looks good in these pictures. He doesn't look like he's, off by any means, regardless of whether this was 6 weeks out, 10 weeks out, or 14 weeks out. I mean, he looks pretty good. And not only do I think that Brandon is going to win this Arnold Classic, I also think that Brandon has the potential to win another Olympia title. I don't think Brandon is going to be a one-and-done champion. I think it is close. I think it was close this year between Rami and Brandon. I think Brandon still has a shot. I mean, he's only 39. Look at the physique that he still has. I think, if anything, he could be coming into his prime right now. He looks improved overall. His legs look improved. I think maybe, we could see the best version of Brandon we've ever seen at the Arnold this year and then improve again over the course of the year and maybe see an even better version at the Olympia. And the final story that I've got for you guys today, this is the guy that I think is going to be runner-up at the Arnold Classic, and I think it's going to be close, actually, between him and Brandon, but I do think Brandon is going to take this. William Bonac. William is one of the 3 former Arnold Classic champions in this lineup. He did not get the opportunity to defend his Arnold Classic title last year against Nick Walker, so we kind of had to speculate on how he would have done if he was there. A lot of people thought he would have won. Because technically, if you think about it, Bonac never actually lost his Arnold Classic title. It's not like he competed against Nick last year and lost. He won the year prior and never got the chance to defend it because he wasn't able to get over here to compete. So he's got to be a favorite in this lineup. And like I was saying earlier, I saw a lot of people commenting my prediction video saying that they had Brett Wilkin in second, which I think that would mean that they have Brett Wilkin over William Bonac, and I just don't see that. And the reason why I wanted to show this training video of Bonac in this video is because the one thing that I think he really has over Brandon Curry, and over a lot of bodybuilders in this lineup for that matter, is he's got really good calves. He has an insane back, a really good lower body, but his calves, I think, are some of the best in this lineup. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are your Arnold Classic predictions? Watch my prediction video from yesterday if you haven't seen it yet. Make sure you hit that like button on this video. It helps out a lot. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed yet already. Click that bell notification icon. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.